It's been a long road, and now I'm coming home. Time forgives, lets me in, starting over. Well, I went away. still there. You've got to believe. Oh, it's been a long road, and now I'm coming home. Time forgives, lets me in, starting over. Restless heart knows where it belongs. Hear it speak, whispering, there's
Oh, thank you. Here we are now. Thanks, everybody, for the show tonight. Diana Reed is my fabulous guest, and that was her fabulous song, Long Road, all the way from California. Hi, Diana. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for hanging on with me tonight. The Whomagoo Show is doing a live interview, and you are known as the six-string Siren. Tell us all about that fabulous background and everything you have going today.
Well, I think it's what it's referring to is my guitar playing, the six-string siren. I love to play guitar and electric guitar, namely. And I had a fan, I think it was about 2 years ago, that coined that phrase. So I just took it and ran with it because I thought it was really cool. And most people talk about sirens, bringing men to their untimely death. But I changed it for myself, and it's more like I'm bringing people to, to re-inspire them to play again. Because I get a lot of feedback from fans and emails that say, after listening to your songs and after seeing you play, you've inspired me to pick up my guitar again. So I thought that's really cool. And, I feel the same way because I've wanted to play guitar since I was 16, and I started on acoustic, and then I stopped because I went off to college, and I was, acting most of my life, been in a couple movies and things, and saw that was going to be the trajectory of my life. But I was doing music, just not publicly, for many years before I started acting. So music has always been there for me, and whenever I would see certain people play the guitar and it was a blues influenced song or blues influenced playing, I noticed in myself that it really got me going, and it really made me want to pick up the guitar again. And then I finally heard Stevie Ray Vaughan on one of his DVDs, and that was it. And so I just decided from that point that this is what I was going to be doing. So yeah, I thought the phrase was perfect, since I pretty much obsess about the guitar from the moment that I wake up to the moment that I go to sleep.
I love that. And the interesting thought about that to me is that extra string. Now, what does that do besides open up a lot of new doors and gates, and that is kind of the siren effect? Because there are these ladies out with the Renaissance Fair in the Milwaukee area, and they tour all around the East Coast, and they are the sirens, so I'm kind of familiar with what they're saying with that term and all that good stuff. So is that the part of your show, the six string? Is that the extra thing that you throw in there for the magical sound, should I say?
Well, electric guitars do have six strings. So it's just basically a nod to the electric guitar or guitars in general. Most of them have six strings.
Gotcha.
I don't play a 12 string. Don't play a 12 string.
That's what I was thinking of on that end. Yeah, but no, but even on that end, the great guitarists, they have their own sound. I mean, I guess Keith Richards, the thing that I always heard is he took it and he tones it into his sound. That makes him unique. And I guess that's kind of what my thought with you, too.
Well, I guess, when I first started, I didn't know anything about gear. I didn't know anything about pedals. It was just like I was playing out of a really basic, tiny room amp. But what I've noticed as time has gone on, I've learned about a lot of pedals and effects, is that people say this, and I didn't believe them, but as I go on, I just noticed that, the way you play, the way your hands actually strike and play the strings really has the most to do with your tone. So, I've played through so many different kinds of pedals, and you can really shape anything to pretty much sound like you. And I don't know if I can verbally say what that sound is, but I know it when I hear it. So you can, fiddle with the knobs on certain pedals and things until you find that sound. And you get so familiar with it over time that you know when you have it, no matter what you're playing.
Well, and there is a signature to almost everybody out there that I hear. Lori Morvan, to yourself and everybody that you hear. You're right. It's almost is their signature, their fingerprint, should I say, as a guitarist.
Yeah. That's definitely definitely a good way to put it.
Yeah, your unique tone fingerprint, and it's almost like that. Everything, the string theory. We live all sounds and vibrations and all that, and you could tell I come as an amateur novice of music and all that, so I find that very interesting. How you guys create what you do. I mean, it's a God-given thing, obviously. Otherwise, you'd be just chatting like me and admiring all the talents that you guys do. Tell us again, Diana Rein is my guest tonight. Whomagoo, here we are Thursday night. She's chatting all the way in California. I'm in the Milwaukee area. About your fabulous album, and then we're going to get into the SoCal festival that you have coming up, too. So tell us a little bit about some of the tracks that we'll be hearing after you're off air here tonight.
So will you be playing the whole album?
Yeah, if you like, I can just jam it for you. I have it all right here lined up. We can go do that.
Okay.
No worries at all.
Awesome. So it's called Long Road. The whole album is called Long Road because I have a 6-year-old now. His name is Vaughn. And when he was born, I took a break from, at the time, acting and music and whole lot of other stuff, and after he turned a year old, I just really had to have a heart-to-heart talk with myself and figure out how I wanted to be an example for my son and what my heart was telling me to do. And the answer kept coming up. It's always been music, and it always will be music. And you always wanted to play blues guitar, and now's the time to do it. So I started writing, and since it had been a long time, and I had gone through some challenges with vocal surgery in the past, in 2011, it was a year before my son was born. I just felt like a long time had passed before I had really been in parallel with my calling, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So the first song that I wrote after such a long break was Long Road. So that's really coming from the heart about how I've kind of come full circle and have come back to music, and now it's like this is it for me. My commitment to music. It can mean many things to many different people, whatever path you're on. But that was the impetus for the whole album. So even though it's a ballad, I found it fitting to begin the album with that song because it was the start. And I self-produced the album. I started writing all of the songs, the rest of the songs in January of 2015, and then I spent that whole year recording it on my own and playing all the instruments, and also what do I want to say? I programmed the drums